Showtime Shawn Porter, he's the only one that can do it. Give Terence a difficult fight. Give him an actual challenge. There's only one man that has proven that he could hang in there with Terence Crawford for a good duration. And that's Showtime Shawn Porter. That's my guy. You guys know Showtime Shawn Porter is my guy. Like, I just don't understand. My brain couldn't process. I was seeing Errol Spence in there, and it didn't look like he belonged in there with Terence Crawford, because you know, you look at the Shawn Porter fight and you say Shawn hung in there with Earl, you know, nearly pulled off a decision win. If it weren't for that knockdown, I believe Shawn would have won that fight. And then Earl goes in there after beating a guy like Shawn Porter. Terence beat Shawn Porter, but there's no contest when Earl gets in there with Terence. You know, let's just appreciate how great Shawn Porter was after fighting a guy like Errol Spence, not getting the result he wanted, was on his way out, fought a guy like Terence Crawford, gave him hell, got stopped in a late round, went down twice, but it didn't look like that. It didn't look like that. A lot of us had, you know, Shawn up on the scorecards up until that point. That just goes to show how great Shawn was. You know, Shawn, the difference is Shawn was special on his feet. He gave that element of unpredictability that was forcing Terence Crawford to think. Earl didn't have that. You know, Shawn Porter, he's either punching or feinting, and that's critical against a guy like Terence Crawford, because you have to make him think. If you're walking him down, he's used to that. That's his bread and butter. He's gonna catch you with his shots coming from different angles, different directions. You can't stop that. But if you have a rhythm and you don't have a pattern that he can pick up on, that's when Terence Crawford has the most trouble. That's why you saw in the Shawn Porter fight, Shawn was giving him hell up until that fight was stopped, because of his rhythm, because he was unpredictable. He was feigning at Terence Crawford, confusing him, because we were so used to seeing Shawn Porter smother guys, and then we see him in there with Terence Crawford and he's feigning, he's laid on his toes, and Terence said, you know, I don't know what to do right now, because I expected him to come towards me. That's the fight that I thought was going to happen. And as the fight progressed, you know, Terence found his moments and he had them, and the fight was stopped by Shawn's dad. But we saw a way to get in on Terence Crawford. If this fight between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford happened before Shawn Porter, it'd be different. But we kind of saw Shawn Porter have his moments with Terence Crawford. Even though the fight didn't go to the end, we don't know what would have happened, you know, if it did, if it continued. But I'm just like, right now, you have to appreciate Shawn's ability to be unpredictable. You know, boxers at the elite level are going to be able to, you know, see your patterns. At this level, at this elite level where it's Terence Crawford, there's Errol Spence, there was Shawn Porter, you can't be predictable against a guy like Terence Crawford. That's what Shawn did, but Earl wasn't able to do that because it's not in his nature. His nature is to walk you down with that high guard, throw the jab. Usually it's the story of the fight, but I guess we kind of overrated his jab. And, you know, Shawn is just a different animal. You know, he went in there and everyone expected him to smother Terence, but he was light on his feet, boxing well, moving well, punching and feigning, confusing Terence Crawford. That's what Errol Spence didn't have. Errol Spence had none of that. It's not in his nature to do that. It's just he goes in there and fights. That's all he knows how to do. He's trying to force a game plan, and it didn't work, but he wasn't able to make any adjustments to have any success. He got desperate, started winging shots, and got dropped again. So that's the difference between Showtime Shawn Porter and Errol Spence. You know, that disparity, and maybe the power from Errol Spence is supposed to be stronger than Shawn's, but Shawn landed more consequential shots on Terence than Earl did. And that's testament to Shawn's ability to move and be mobile in the boxing ring, use his feet, and land shots just at the range where he can get in and get out. That's the key. And, you know, Shawn's experienced. Shawn has that experience. Errol Spence, he forces a game plan until it works. And this time he ran into an elite fighter where it wasn't enough to get the win, and he got stopped. So this video isn't for me to say Showtime Shawn Porter should come back to the sport of boxing, but it's more so we should appreciate him more, because We saw what Earl Spence wasn't able to do, but we saw what Shawn Porter was able to do in a fight against Terence Crawford. And that's just testament to how great Shawn was when it came to unpredictability and not being able to show Terence Crawford any patterns that he could pick up on. You know, Earl gave him everything he needed to see in the first few rounds, and it built his confidence, and that's why the fight went the way it did. It wasn't because Earl Spence isn't a great fighter. He's a great fighter, but the execution of the game plan, you know, wasn't enough. There was no difference in the way he was fighting, the way he prepared for this fight. There was no game plan that would confuse Terence Crawford, and that's where the problem lied. That's where all the problems started for Earl Spence. It's not because he's not a great fighter, because he's not a champion, he doesn't have heart, he's weak. It's none of that. It's because he was predictable in there, he was slow in there, and Terence Crawford's just on another level when it comes to elite skill at the top of the sport of the boxing. You know, that's just how it goes. That's how this sport is. It's not clean, it's ugly, it gets messy, it gets bloody, but it tells the truth, and that's what you gotta appreciate about boxing. But thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Is Shawn Porter the only man that could really compete on that level? Is that the best we're gonna see in terms of, you know, a fighter challenging Terence Crawford? Is it Showtime Shawn Porter? I'm gonna go with yeah. I think he's the closest we'll ever see to, you know, Terence Crawford being challenged. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that post notification bell. You guys don't want to miss anything. We'll keep you guys updated with all the latest and hottest news in the sport of boxing. But thank you guys for watching again, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. That's going to do it for another Nads Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.